Bhaktaya, to his devotee. Chitra, wonderful. Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. He, indeed. Sampadaha, opulences. Rajam, kingdom. Vibhuti, material assets. Nasamartayati, does not bestow. Ajaha, unborn. Adirga, short. Bodhaya, whose understanding. Vichakshanaha, wise. Swayam, himself. Pashan, seeing. Nipatam, the downfall. Daninam, of the wealthy. Mada, of the intoxication of pride. Udbhavam, the rise. Translation. To the devotee who lacks spiritual insight, the Supreme Lord will not grant the wonderful opulences of this world, kingly power and material assets. Indeed, in his infinite wisdom, the unborn Lord well knows how the intoxication of pride can cause the downfall of the wealthy. So I say, and you can repeat, to a devotee who lacks spiritual insight, the Supreme Lord will not grant the wonderful opulences of this world, kingly power, and material assets. Indeed, in his infinite wisdom, the unborn Lord well knows how the intoxication of pride can cause the downfall of the wealthy. Purport. As explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, the humble Brahmana, Sudama, considered himself unworthy of the Supreme Lord's most rare and valuable benediction, pure devotional service. He reasoned that if he had any true devotion, the Lord would have granted him perfect, unflinching devotion rather than the material riches and servants he had received. Lord Krishna would have protected a more serious devotee by denying him such distractions. The Lord will give a sincere but less intelligent devotee not as much material wealth as he desires, but only what will promote his devotional progress. Sudama thought, a great saint like Prahlad Maharaj can avoid becoming contaminated by immeasurable wealth, power, and fame, but I must always be wary of temptation in my new situation. We may understand that this humble attitude assured Sudama Vipra final success in his execution of Bhakti Yoga by the standard process of hearing and repeating the glories of the Lord. Om Agyantimarindasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mayam Dadanti Swapadanti Kam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopeka Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchan Gaurange Radha Brindavaneshwari Brisha Banustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One more time, but a little louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Wow, that was impressive. Were you impressed? I'm impressed. All right. This is a very wonderful story. So much to be learned from these verses. So here, Sudama, he just wanted to go see his dear friend Krishna. That's all. He was feeling a little down, very poor. He had nothing. He had nothing to eat. And his wife is saying, go see Krishna. Why, Krishna has unlimited wealth and resources. Go see Krishna. You know, go see your friend Krishna. And so, but he didn't want, Sudama didn't want to ask anything from Krishna. There was just no taste in asking. Sudama couldn't make the words come out of his mouth. Hi, Krishna, how are you? Oh, you're looking well. Hey, could you give me some resources? He couldn't do it. It wasn't possible. And he had this chipped rice, which he and his wife had to beg from a neighbor because they didn't even have that. And he's thinking, this is so low class. I don't want to give this to Krishna. I just don't want to do it. I just want to be here with my dear friend Krishna. You see? But Krishna, of course, could see his heart. And he says, what is this wonderful gift that you're hiding from me? Give it, please, give it to me. So Krishna wrestled it away from him. Krishna took it. And he's looking at this, just a palmful of chipped rice. Krishna immediately starts to eat it. And he feels so overwhelmed in happiness, pleasure. Oh, you've brought me this nice chipped rice. But it was low class. And so the goddess of fortune stopped Krishna. That's enough. You've eaten enough, my lord. That's enough. So, but Krishna was very ecstatic over this loving exchange. You see? So, we have to learn from this that the loving exchange is the most valuable thing to the Supreme Lord. Loving exchange. He has no need to count his money. He doesn't have to go check and see how much money is in the treasury. He's not worried about how much is there. Are we losing money or are we gaining money? Krishna doesn't have to do that. Everything emanates from Krishna. He doesn't consider wealth. He is wealth. You see? He's beyond this conception of material value. Matter has no value. Think of gold. What is the value of gold? You can't eat it. If you're starving to death and all you have is gold, you can't eat it. You can't drink it if you're thirsty in the desert. It won't keep you warm in the wintertime. Of course, you may say, oh, yes, but you can take gold and get all those things. But what if you can't? What if all you have is this valuable gold? You can see how useless it is to you. So all of these things are entirely useless to Krishna. Krishna is interested in loving exchange. He's the Supreme Godhead. He doesn't have anything else to do. He doesn't have anything. He doesn't have to hurry up after breakfast and rush to the office. You know? Okay, my dear Rukmini, no more time. No. I have to go. Bye. No, Krishna, he doesn't have to hurry. He has all the time in the world. You know why he has all the time in the world? Because he is time. And all he wants to do is exchange loving relationship. So we need to learn this is the real prize. Loving relationship. Not wealth, not fame, not any kind of power. None of that. People want wealth so they'll be able to have a loving exchange. They may want some fame because it may help them in having a loving exchange. You see? And so Krishna puts no value on the material energy. Why, if Sudama had given him a handful of gold, it wouldn't have been any more valuable than this palm full of chipped rice. The chipped rice was coming from Sudama with love. It was coming from the hand of his friend who had gone out to beg it for him. We made, in the last class, we made the point that Krishna was feeling, my dear Sudama, you have given me more than you had. Not only did you give me everything, you gave me more than you had. You had to go beg from somebody else. You gave me everything you had and some of what someone else had. So Krishna is tasting the love. You see? That's the important thing. So that made the value of this handful of chipped rice skyrocket. Like to Krishna, this is everything. Oh, this is amazing. This is such a show of love from my dear friend. So this is Krishna's desired situation, to be in a position to share love with those who want to share love with him and with those that he wants to show his love to. Krishna wants to show his love to everyone, all living entities. But most of the living entities are busy pursuing something else. Even those that start to learn about Krishna, I want to share some love and do some service from Krishna, but right now I have to do so many other things. I have to go do this and I have to go do that. You see? But the time will come if we continue chanting this Maha Mantra, and if we continue performing some loving devotional service. It may not be pure in the beginning, but it is devotional service. And as we practice, it'll become loving devotional service. And as we do that, it will take away our consciousness. It will steal our consciousness. It will become the only thing that we have a taste for. Like Sudama. That's the only thing that he had a taste for in his entire life, was to go share loving experience with Krishna. Everything else in his life was leading up to that moment. It wasn't like Sudama was going to watch the football game and his wife said, go to Krishna and ask for some money. And no, the only reason they're there is because they just want to be with you. My dear friend, it's so good to see you. They're happy just at the sight of you. This is loving exchange. This is our relationship. This is our eternal relationship with Krishna that we're working on getting back. It's ours. It belongs to us. It's mine, and I want it back. Yes? We want to get back to that level, to where we can be with Krishna face to face and feel, Krishna, I don't want anything but you. And then when we're not with Krishna, We still have that same feeling. Krishna, I don't want anything but you. So this is the position of Sudama. All of the wealth and the gold and everything was just, what do they call it when they, on a movie? It's like a movie set. It was just decoration. Meant nothing to Krishna and meant nothing to Sudama. When he went home, he was surprised that his house was so fabulous and so fantastic. Why, it equaled the residence of Indra, Brahma, and all of the demigods. There was not a more elaborate and beautiful residence anywhere in the material world. And so when he saw it, he was simply thinking of Krishna. Krishna, you've given me this? I mean, I gave you just a palmful of chipped rice. There's an important point in this one verse. Oh, hold on. The Lord is supremely compassionate. The Lord is the supremely compassionate reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Life after life, may I serve him with love, friendship, and sympathy, and may I cultivate such firm attachment for him by the precious association of his devotees. So Sudama, this is his prayer. He's not saying, maybe I could have, if I got this nice dwelling, maybe I had another one up in the mountains and I could go there during the summertime where it's nice and cool. If Krishna can give me this, he can give me another one, can he? He wasn't thinking like that at all. Surely, after receiving something of this magnitude from Krishna, you would think, Krishna will give me anything. Come on, wouldn't it kind of make you think, maybe I didn't ask for enough? If I got this, what would I have received from Krishna if I had really given him a big list? Many of us would think like that, at least for a minute, because we're still a little contaminated by the material energy, you see. Not Sudama. Immediately, he's saying the Lord is the supremely compassionate reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Then he prays, life after life, may I serve him with love, friendship, and sympathy, and may I cultivate such firm attachment for him by the precious association of his devotees. Love, friendship, and sympathy. Do you find that interesting, that he's asking for sympathy? Isn't that an interesting use of words? Not empathy, sympathy. In other words, I want to feel exactly the way he does. You see? I want to sympathize with the Lord. As he feels, I feel. I want to share his emotions. When someone comes to you, and you hear their mind, you hear it. Typically, we empathize with them. I understand what you're saying. I understand how you feel, but you don't necessarily agree with everything they say. You just empathize. I empathize. Sympathy means I feel the same way you do. Sudama is not only asking for love and friendship, he wants the potency to be completely sympathetic with the Lord. As you desire, I desire, my dear Lord. Please give me that boon. You see? little to no interest in this wonderful palace that he'd been given. I'm sure he was happy for his wife. But Sudama had Krishna. Krishna for a friend. He was able to go visit his friend. Sudama had everything. Sudama had the source of that house, the source of that palace. So he wasn't necessarily impressed with the palace. He could understand, though, that he could understand how Krishna thinks, a little bit of Krishna's heart. Krishna sees the value of this loving handful of chipped rice as the all in all. Why, this is the most valuable thing. Why? Because in your heart, you wanted to offer me everything you had plus everything that you don't have. You had to go get something, beg something to offer it to me. So here's someone who has nothing. They have nothing to eat. And they beg something to eat. So a very hungry man begs something to eat, then he gives it to Krishna. You see? To Krishna, this is huge. This is love. This is all Krishna wants from us. He just wants our love. Sudama, out of love, wants to come and see Krishna. Just to be with Krishna. And yes, Krishna made him give me that rice. So, Krishna saw that as far more valuable than anything he had. And Krishna has everything. Krishna has everything that ever has been, everything that is now, and everything yet to come. He has it. He's the unlimited source of all sources. And yet, this little handful of chipped rice was more valuable to Krishna than everything he had. And he felt like, I have to give you more than I have because you gave me more than you have. This is love. Nothing else. Just loving exchange. So, this is our position with Krishna. This is our relationship with Krishna as well. We want to give everything to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada used to say again and again, give everything to Krishna. Give it all to Krishna. For a long time you may think, well, I'll give it all to Krishna, but I'll reserve a little bit for me. That's pious. But at some point, you will advance in your love for Krishna. You want to give it all to Krishna. And there's no loss. It's not like I gave it all to Krishna and now I don't have anything. No, because I have Krishna. It's just me and Krishna. Prabhu and I were talking last night, like sometimes when we travel, we may be traveling a long, long way. I was equating when I'm traveling. Sometimes I'm traveling alone across North America, and there are some places in the western part of Texas. Texas is half the size of India, I think. You know, it's big. Texas is the size of Germany, I think. It's just huge. So you can go through parts of Texas. There's no towns. It's just desert. There's nothing. And so you're out there at night. Maybe there's some moonlight. And the road is straight across the desert. And there's nothing. And you're all alone. If you were to have car trouble, you'd be there for hours. You're all alone. Just you and Krishna. What a wonderful situation. How often do you get such a situation to where it's just you and Krishna? Why, we go through our day-to-day lives and we have so many distractions. We have so many others that we have to interface with on different levels, you see. We may get a few minutes out of the day where it's just me and Krishna. But sometimes Krishna is so kind that he'll bless you with several hours. Just you and Krishna. This is what Sudama was wanting. Just me and Krishna. I just want to go see Krishna. I'm not going to ask Krishna for anything. That is what I want. I want to be with Krishna. So this is the nature of all of us. We all want to be with Krishna. Why, the gopis try their best to be just one-on-one with Krishna. This is very rare. This is a treasure. It's a great treasure to be alone, just you and Krishna. Sudama knew this. This was valuable to him. I'll have my alone time with Krishna. And that's all he wanted. That's great wealth to him. So he wasn't motivated to go start asking Krishna, give me this, give me this. He could have gone in with a big list of things that he needed. We need a new vacuum cleaner. You know, I could use a car. You know, I need this, I need that. Sudama didn't even ask Krishna for good health. He just wanted to be alone with Krishna. What a treasure, huh? So, many of us maybe we're not ready yet to be alone with Krishna. Isn't it? Why? Why is that? Why do I not? Huh? Other things are important, yeah. But what is as important as Krishna? But that's the way our mind thinks. Oh, so many things are important. So many things I have to do. And some people may feel uncomfortable just being alone with Krishna. Well, I don't know if I'm familiar enough with him yet. I don't know if I know him well enough. Typically, we want to keep Krishna over there, don't we? We keep him over there. Because if Krishna comes, I might have to do some service for him. So if he's not here, but I can talk about him, what do they call it, in the third person? He's over there. If Krishna were here, we could say, it's different than Krishna being here. So what if Krishna is here and we're just alone? Just the two of us. So, to the gopis, that would be a big boon. Oh, to have Krishna alone. To Sudama, Uddhava, we can go on. There are so many devotees that would see that as the biggest treasure, to have Krishna alone. So, we need to think like that. Krishna, I want to be with you. Just me and you. Just the two of us. Even if it's for just a brief time, please allow me to be with you. More intimate. Alone. No formality. Just me and Krishna. This was the driving force behind Sudama. just alone with my beloved Krishna. So I think I'm going to pause here and see if there are any questions, comments, criticisms. Who's going to be the first to criticize?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for this wonderful class. I just wanted to ask Prabhu, like, when the bad situations comes in our life, when we go through some difficulties, sometimes we don't feel the presence of the Lord, and we think, our mind always think about the problems only. And we don't feel that Lord is there with us and He will help us. But our mind, due to our conditioning and so much, we don't feel that presence. Then how we can, like, what are the things that we can do so that we can feel that presence of the Lord?
There's a saying that practice makes perfect. So this is one of the things that we have to practice as we go through our lives. Prabhupada gives the answer that, or the example that we don't want fire, but yet fire comes. You see? Of its own accord, it comes. Even the wind blowing the bamboo in the dry season, and it causes some fire. So challenges will come. That you can bet on. This is, after all, the material world. This is the place you come for distress. We come here to enjoy separate from Krishna, but that defines into distress, because there is no enjoyment aside from Krishna. So it's a world of frustration, because there is no enjoyment aside from Krishna. Distress. Things here don't work. We're used to everything working properly in the spiritual world. Everything works in harmony. In the material world, things break when we least expect it. So we have enough opportunity to practice. Oh, my dear Lord, this is some challenge. I'm very thankful for it, because my first thought is that, my dear Lord, I'm not asking you to fix the challenge. I'm just asking you to help me. Always remember me, remember you when these challenges come up. I want to remember that no matter what happens, I have you. If the whole world falls apart, what if this is the end of it? What if you're in a situation and you realize this could be the end? Death could be coming. This could be real. We need to be ready to say, Krishna, I have you. I don't need anything. I don't need anything else. That's far above and beyond saying, oh, Krishna, save me, put me back, give me my health back. I was in an automobile accident and I'm all broken up. Please put me back together and make me as good as new, so that I can go back to the gym and work out and go back to the office. No. No, the intelligent transcendentalist says, I have you, Krishna. And this could be the end. Please, let me think of you. Let me see you. Stay in my mind. Stay here with me. Don't let my mind start to think of something else or lament. I have one disciple who is, he works in a hospice. You know, hospice? It's where people go to die. And so I ask him, what are the common things that the dying people say? And they say that I lament because there's so many things that I wanted to say to my loved ones that I didn't say. There were so many things I wanted to do for my loved ones that I didn't do. And I'm scared because I feel all alone. So this is the horror of the non-devotee. Death is coming. I'm lamenting and I'm scared because I feel alone. Darkness is coming. I'm afraid of the unknown. The unknown is coming. The devotee is just the opposite. No. Krishna, is this just going to be me and you? Is this just you and me? Maybe this is all over. What will you do with me next? Because I'm ready. Whatever you say. If you say, go there, then I'll go there. Go do this. Just please give me some service. Please. So we have to practice like that. We had a good chance to practice like that through this worldwide pandemic that we went through. Man, this was really good for us. We had to think more about Krishna, didn't we? Where is this world going? What will it be like when we go through this pandemic? How will you direct my service, Krishna? It seems like the world is changing. So it was very good for us. Many people were worried about the unknown. But we know. No, I'm going to Krishna. I can't guarantee that I'll go back home, back to Godhead. That's up to him. He may engage me to doing something else. He may send me back to Newtown. I'm okay with that. Service to Krishna here is very good. Does that answer your question? Anyone else? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So, as you are discussing that sometime we should desire that to be with Krishna alone. But we see that Krishna is saying in Bhagavatam that Mad Bhakta Puja Vyadhika. That means worship of my devotee is better than my worship. And so loving Krishna means loving those who loves Krishna. So is it a pure desire to offer such prayer that, my dear Lord, let me be with you alone?
Part of what you said was loving Krishna is connected with loving those who love Krishna, isn't it? So, yes, we have to see like that. Sudama was praying like that. Please let me be inspired to serve you by associating with your devotees. We need to seek out and worship the association of Krishna's devotees. There's one thing that if we ever get a chance to be alone with Krishna, that's a real treat. But we can't see the association of Krishna's devotees as an austerity. That's also a real treat. Where else will you associate? If you're alone without the devotees and without Krishna, that's distress, isn't it? But if you're with Krishna's devotees, you'll feel closer to Krishna. Devotees carry Krishna with them. And so from the devotees you can get Krishna. Associate with more advanced devotees. Everyone should associate with more advanced devotees. And that way you can drink this nectar I mean, I realize from time to time as I go here and there are groups of people, devotees, and they like to talk about things other than loving Krishna and why Krishna is lovable. You know, talk about big problems in ISKCON. Big this, big that. Conspiracy theories, yeah. I don't think that when we get in that mood that we're looking to be alone with Krishna. Is it? If you were alone with Krishna, would you talk about these things? Would you talk about conspiracy theory to Krishna? Or this devotee fell down and this is going on and I don't like the way the GBC is doing this. You know, Krishna would be like, oh boy. Oh, look at the time. Radharani is calling me. I'll see you later. Bye. This has been fun. We'll do it again. Why did you let that guy in here? So you're not being good association. Siddhama wants to associate with the devotees of Krishna. Do you think he means those devotees that are going to complain and criticize? Or the ones that realize where we are, who we are? Why, we're in this wonderful ISKCON. We're in the temple of the Lord. We're under his control because we've surrendered. If we're under his control, that means we're totally safe. You see? So, seek out devotees who think like that. And then you become a devotee that's on that level. And then save the devotees who want to go down into and investigate the garbage. Can you imagine walking through a field of flowers? It's like now the trees are blooming and these fragrant flowers. What are they? What are these flowers? I can't remember. I'm having a senior moment. You know the trees that are blooming, the fragrant flowers right now? Kadamba flowers. So if you're walking through a forest of kadamba trees and there's roses and all of these wonderful aromas and you're walking through this garden and you look down the hill, there's a garbage dump where everybody has thrown the garbage and the sewage is going down there. Would you say to your friends and associates, hey, let's go down there and check that out? I don't think so, right? But it's fragrant here. Why, this is so sattvic. It reminds me of Krishna. No, but let's go check out the garbage. So this is the nature of our mind when we want to go check out the conspiracy theories and get down into the garbage consciousness. Living in drama. No, we want to associate with devotees who can keep us in the flower garden. And that way you become empowered to keep everyone in the flower garden. If you, do you want to make devotees? Do you want to increase the number of devotees? Then you're going to have to invite them into your flower garden and not into your garbage. Right? You're not going to be an effective preacher if you meet someone and you say, hi, my name is so-and-so Das. I'd like to tell you about the problems we face in ISKCON. Someone else says, What do you say we take a walk through the flower garden? Ah, yes, this is very nice. Isn't it? So we seek out the association. I remember Tamal Krishna Maharaj told me that one time. I was going to make a tour back in the early 80s of the North American temples. And he told me to be careful of my association. Because there's no telling what you'll hear if you get with the wrong devotee. They're talking this, talking that. Seek out better association. Why? Because you'll become better association. Then you can give better association. Does that make any sense? Did I answer your question? Maybe somewhat.
Maharaj, my question was that is it a pure prayer to offer that, my dear Lord, let me be with you?
I didn't understand. Say.
Is it a pure desire to be with the Lord alone?
Oh, pure desire to be with the Lord only? Yeah, yeah. Yeah. The gopis feel that way. They're all eager. The gopis are our role models. They're all eager to be with Krishna. If they can get Krishna alone, oh, that's a real boon. They can also share Krishna. They know how to do that and love that. But to get a moment alone with Krishna, phew, priceless. Yeah. He's a really great guy. He's a fun guy to be with. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for wonderful class. My question is, sometimes we think due to material consciousness, sometimes we feel that if I have a bigger house or better car or more money, then I'll be more happy. So how to understand that it is not true?
Well, sometimes it is true. We have a nice house here for Krishna. But we need a bigger house because our family is growing. And we want it to grow more and more. But we don't become attached to just having a bigger house. It's just like we may think, I want to live here in Mayapur. And so I'll get some apartment so that I can stay in Mayapur for a long, long time. And so having this apartment built and put together is going to take a lot of our time. Our consciousness is going to be focused on this for a lot of time. And so when the apartment is finished, now we have a place to stay in Mayapur. So the attachment to the apartment is it's a place for me to stay in Mayapur. Not like, oh, it's so palatial, it's so, and it's better than yours. Mine is on a floor higher than yours. My view is much better than yours. Well, then I'm just in material consciousness. So we may desire something that will help our devotional service. So once we get it, then go on with your devotional service. Use it in Krishna's service. And the attachment will fade away. In other words, you've accomplished the goal. So you got it. And now you have it and you can use it. So a grihasta may need a bigger house for their family. So get an adequate house for the wife and children. And perhaps your parents. Get an adequate house. Adequate. But don't become infatuated with it. Don't make it your statement to the world. You see? Do it well, and then go on with your devotional service. So it's not that if I want a bigger house, that's Maya. It could be. Depends on how you see it. And why do you want a bigger house? What will you do with it? No matter how big your house is and how elegant it is, when you walk across the floor, your bones are still going to ache just as badly. Time is still going to take your youth. There's going to be more and more disease. Old age will come upon you. No matter how comfortable your bed, every day it's going to get less comfortable. That's a guarantee. So then what is the use? No, we can see our place, our dwelling, as a place to serve Guru and Krishna. A place to do our service. Not a place to enjoy. That's just material consciousness. We came to this material world thinking, oh, I can enjoy here. We were wrong. That's not working. It's not going to work. Neither is your new house. It's not going to give you great ecstasy. It may give you the satisfaction that it's finally finished. Construction is over. We can clean up the construction dust and live here. You know. But if you're waiting for your new beautiful place to start giving you ecstasy, you're going to be greatly disappointed. And then people will, in some time, they'll want a bigger one. That's the way it is in the West. The family gets a bigger house. Oh, and it's very beautiful. And they're expecting, now that I have a better job and more income, I deserve more gratification. So we'll have a better house. That will increase our gratification. And our perception of gratification may seem to increase when we move into the new house. After a while, it's just a house. And things in it start to break. We have to keep it up, repair it. And it becomes a place of suffering, just like the other house. You see? So then, oh, we need a new house. So American business makes a lot of money knowing that people think like that. The fact that you bought a new house 5 years ago doesn't mean that I can't see you as a prospect to sell you another new house. You see? Because you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be happy. So therefore, I can keep trying to market something to you. You're never going to say to the world, no, I'm completely and thoroughly satisfied. I don't need or want anything. They're always going to be able to say, yes, but you don't have this. This is brand new. Have you heard of this? Why, this does this and it does that. And he has one and he has one. Like everybody has one. You're the last one on your block to get it. But if you buy this one, this is the upgraded model. It's better than all of theirs. This is the iPhone 492. You'll be the first. Oh, let me have it. So, material energy does that to us. It's a promise that it'll always be better. Just give me your money. Come and work for me, help me make money. I'll give you money, and then you'll give it back to me by buying my products. And while you're at it, why don't you put your wife to work too? And then she'll give me her money too. So that's the nature of the material world. We're looking for gratification, and it's just not available here. Except when we're together with us. We feel pretty gratified right now, don't we? Well, this is the high spot of our day, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I wanted to ask, as you had mentioned that for Krishna the most valuable thing is a loving relationship with the living entity, and the Jivatma wants to be with Krishna alone, and that is natural for him to desire. But many times we also hear that a higher aspiration is to serve Krishna and try to endeavor to fulfill his mission. And if Krishna wills, then he may keep us with him, or else he may want to engage in his service wherever he likes. So that is more of being with Krishna. But on the contrary, just like a child may naturally want to be with his parents, a child would want to be with his parents, and there is nothing wrong to think that way. So how do we reconcile both these understanding, Maharaj? Can you throw some light on that?
Let me see if I understand the question. You say, like, sometimes a child doesn't want to be with his parents?
No, Maharaj. I was asking that it is natural for any child to want to be with his parents.
With his parents?
Yes.
Yes.
But then we also hear that wanting higher than wanting to be with Krishna is to be engaged in his service wherever Krishna wants him to keep him in, and more than wanting to be with Krishna. And being engaged in his service is more of being with Krishna. So that also we hear from some like other places. So how do we reconcile both these understanding? I wanted to know from you.
It's hard for us to understand, but being service and separation from Krishna is being with Krishna. It is being with Krishna because of our consciousness is focused on Krishna. If we're in good Krishna consciousness, we're thinking of Krishna every moment, and it's still pretty much the same thing. Maybe Krishna's not there physically, but he is there because you're still having the same conversation with him as if he were there physically. Does that make any sense? It's good to be with Krishna, and we want to be alone with Krishna. But service away from Krishna physically is the same as being with Krishna. It doesn't mean that as I walk away from Krishna to go do my service, that Krishna stays there and I'm going away from him. Krishna's coming with me. I have to leave his beautiful face to be seen with these eyes. But yet, his beautiful face is seen in my mind. His words are in my mind. He gives us so many words in Bhagavad Gita. We have to keep those words in our mind. The vision of Krishna in our mind. The words of Krishna in our mind. Our resolute determination to perform our service for Guru and Krishna. We keep that in our mind. And that is being with Krishna. So this is a good point that you bring up. There are times when we will be perceived as being away from Krishna. But we're just as close with Krishna, or we should see it as being just as close with Krishna as if we were sitting right in front of him. There's just us and Krishna. There isn't anything to take us away from Krishna, except maybe our consciousness can become contaminated, and then we start going away trying to chase something other than Krishna. Same is true with the spiritual master. Service and separation. Why, that's most valuable. So yeah, I agree with you. Good point.
Thank you, Maharaj. But I wanted to ask also that what should his aspiration be? What is the ideal aspiration? Like want to be with Krishna, engaged in service, or whatever Krishna desires for us?
Do we want to be with him and get it?
Or we want be engaged in his service? Just be engaged in his service, whether we, physically be with him or not, or whatever he desires for us.
I don't know about you, but I'm greedy. I want it all. I do. I'm just being honest. I want it all. I want time alone with Krishna, and I want time in separation so that I'm serving in separation. I want to taste that mellow too. So I want it all. I'm not asking to go into some relationship with Krishna and stay just like that. No, I want it all. I want him alone, and then I'm going to go away, physically away, but he's going to be with me, helping me, empowering me to do my service. If I'm serving in separation, how am I supposed to do any service without his empowerment? What power do I have? I'm not a powerful entity. I only have the power to desire. Krishna has the power to fulfill any desire. So Krishna is the ultimate source. So any success that I'm having is directly from Krishna's empowerment. So if I'm serving Krishna and I'm being successful, it's because somehow or other he's empowering me to be successful. And I may not even understand why. Maybe he's doing that just to show his love. You know? But yeah, I want it all. I'll take all I can get. Okay. All right, one more.
Thank you for a very enlivening class. Just I wanted to ask, just one doubt is ringing that the gopis, what I've heard is that the gopis, they would like to assist Radha Krishna. Like in Tulsi prayers also we say that Jogal Rupa Rasi, let me see Radha Krishna together and serve them. So this like gopis have desired to be with Krishna alone. Is that the thing, or gopis want to see Radha Krishna and assist in the pastime, because only Srimati Radharani can give pleasure to Krishna in the highest way. So gopis want to see that Radha Krishna are together and assist them.
Well, the gopis want it all as well. It's a harmonious world in the spiritual world. Everyone's working together with Krishna in the center. So I want to aid in the service of Radha and Krishna. At the same time, I'd like to be alone with Krishna if I get a chance. You see? I want it all. All of it's glorious. Which is better than the other? One minute it may seem like being alone with Krishna is the best, and one minute aiding everyone else in serving Krishna, that may seem to be better. It's all better. That world is absolute. You see? So yeah. In the material world, it's either this or that. And we're used to those. That's the law of the material world. Black or white, man or woman, Republican or Democrat, so many things. You're this or that. Can't be both. The spiritual world doesn't have those limitations. It's not like that. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you so very much. This is, I've come to the end of another tour through West Bengal. So tonight I'm going to get on a plane and go back to the West. And after traveling around some while I'm gone, I'll be back in October. We'll spend some more time together next winter. So they say time flies when you're having fun. Have you heard that? So I must have been having a lot of fun, because time really flies. Since I've been here with all of you, it's always a real treasure to have your association. I am very thankful for it and grateful for every minute of it. So when I come back, please give me more of your association and more of your mercy. It's what keeps me going. Thank you all so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Jivananda Prabhu ki jai.